Sie hören Sport und Musik.
Das Spiel ist aus! Deutschland ist Weltmeister!
Mario Götze! Mario Götze!
Tonight, whether you call it football, or soccer, a German American and a German in America dare to call it Fußball. German football from an American point of view. Let's add some buns to that hamburger and join them for the Schnitzel Boys Deutschland Hour.
Yeah. Hello, if you're joining us live, if you're listening on the streams, on the YouTube, on the podcast apps, welcome to the Deutschland Hour of the Schnitzel Boys. It's just me, one Schnitzel Boy. The other Schnitzel Boy is still in Germany. If you have been following us, you know Stefan is on this very long Germany trip, family reunion, European vacation. And but we've been checking in with him, and so we will catch up with him soon. I have been a little distracted this weekend in terms of decision day, MLS. I had not watched so much Bundesliga, but Stefan did, and we did talk about it for a little bit. And so here we go. Yeah. Oh, hi.
Hello, Bjorn.
Hi. It's like we just saw each other.
I feel like I just saw you a minute ago. Well, this is exciting for me. I guess it was the same last week, but I am doing the Germany Hour in Germany.
Yes.
I'm in the
still
motherland.
Good. You're still... How much longer, by the way?
Sebas
S was asking. It's like Stefan's back next week, right? I'm like, nope.
No, I'm gonna be gone, I think, for another 10, 11, 12 days at least. But what I will say is this trip was a big trip, and it is just flying by. Like I had a couple of small, like I went to New York, did that, Amsterdam, did that, and did of the three things I was doing in Germany, tonight is 2/3 done. So tomorrow tomorrow begins my last leg, which is I'm going to go to Bavaria for just under 2 weeks. I think about 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then there you go. And then from Bavaria, I fly back home to LA to start my American life again, to restart my American life.
So in terms of the podcast, it's this week and next week, and then we're back.
I believe
Then we're back live.
We're back live and all sorts of stuff. But not to be full, I got all sorts of German goodies here because I'm in the right place now. I was talking about my favorite thing.
Mann des Jahres, Man of the Year.
And this is my favorite chocolate company right up here. Niederegger Lübeck. And then this was, so I do every year I come here, there's different things. Right?
What is it? Man of the, I'm not familiar. Man of the Year. Why is it called that? What's the story? Tell us everything.
I wish I knew the story. I don't know the story.
But what is the product exactly?
It's marzipan chocolate.
Let's see. Take one out.
Well, I already ate it, but I'm going to show you the empty canister.
You ate the whole thing?
And what I will show you is what it was. So I open this thing, be like, what is this? Is it going to be a couple little thingy things? Blah, blah, blah. But no, I open this canister here, and this whole thing was one giant hockey puck of just dark chocolate marzipan. It was a giant puck.
Oh, just one chunk?
One chunk. And it said 100 years. It's a 100-year anniversary with this chocolate company. And it was just all these different canisters of different designs. The kind of thing you'd put school supplies in. It's like a large, look at this, like a large tin canister.
Yeah.
Here. And there were different types.
You can use it to put stuff into.
Pencils, no. It was full of a giant marzipan puck and a lot of different designs. And they have a whole line called Männer. And I went to this place and I had cake and I had a Herrentorte, which is one of the better cakes. And translate Herrentorte for our Anglo.
It's a gentleman's cake.
Yeah. So there's some sort of theme. I don't know the whole story, but because in the catalog of this hold on, actually, this thing of this company, I have. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's right there.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh,
Got my picture.
no. Oh, no. Is he wearing pants? You decide, audience. You
You
decide.
decide, audience. You decide, audience. Sometimes, here's the catalog of said company.
Aus Liebe.
All their fresh products.
Aus
right?
Liebe, from love, with love.
Out of love. But they have a whole line of. Let me see if I get the picture.
It's
here.
candy for men. I guess this is Geschmack mit Biss. I guess this is, it's like
No, but read in the middle there. Männer Sache.
Männer Sache. It's men's business.
Yeah, but it's just marzipan. I don't know why that would be different.
Well, I think it's marketing. It's like, oh, sweets are just, I guess maybe if we're arguing from a perspective of traditional gender stereotypes, if it's candy is for women, they have to market it differently so that men feel like they can also eat candy and not being wusses.
I guess maybe you nailed it right on the head, because it's just like, that's probably it.
Because the same kind of thing. It's not like, yeah, this is some candy for men. Yes.
Candy and cake for men. But
yeah,
I'll tell you, I've never struggled with any gender identity when it comes to eating.
When it comes to sweets,
I've always been like, I'll eat all of it. I could care less.
I agree. I am not like that. I actually yesterday at the stadium, I'm known amongst my friends for being, when it comes to alcohol, for being the wussiest drinker. Like, I will drink rosé, and I'll drink light beers now, and all these things that don't go. Like yesterday, I had a friend of mine came to the game, and she was like, "Oh, you got my ticket. Let me get you a drink." And what do you want? I said, if the girliest thing, if you encounter anything where you said only a woman would drink this, that's the one I want.
Bjorn, me too. My drinks, I like sweet ass, bright ass drinks. The bigger the umbrella, the better. I don't know. That's just
that's the same. I don't have. You don't need to put it in a black tin. I'll eat chocolate. Bring it on. Yeah.
Well, I would have eaten either way. I just bought the tin.
It can be pink. It can be pink and heart shaped. That's fine. It's not a problem.
Yeah, here the Schnitzel boys, we don't care about any of that crap.
No, we're not.
Everybody.
No.
Aus Liebe
with love.
For jeder, for alle. Yeah.
Exactly. But anyway, some people, I guess, like to make sure that they only eat gender appropriate candy.
So I was at this marzipan Niederecker cake place.
Okay.
Here where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my family were all eating cake upstairs, having a blast. Sache Torte, Fruchttorte, Himbeertorte. You name it. I had something called, I always get it wrong, the Pickler. I always get it wrong what it was called. It was delicious. It's Duke in English. How do you say Duke?
Duke?
Anyway, I have a list of cakes downstairs. I don't have on me right now, but I literally have a list of cakes. I haven't crossed them off one by one. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I'm upstairs with my second cousin. 6 degrees of Stefan Schnitzel, the family reunion. There's a lot of schnitzels walking around.
For sure.
And it's during the Bundesliga. It's during the Bayer Leverkusen Wolfsburg game. It's during all the afternoon games. But he's a fan. So he has his Sky Sport app open. He's got the scores on. And then on the table, we're both looking at the scores. And then one of the waiters comes by. He sees the scores are down. So he stops. He looks at it. And then one of the ladies from the cake kitchen, she comes out. She's like, "Oh, you got scores?" And she stops. She also looks down at the scores. So in the middle of the afternoon during our Kaffee und Kuchen, right? We're doing our Kaffee und Kuchen, which in German culture is a common thing you do on Sundays.
Yeah.
Although I think we were doing it on a Saturday, I guess. But you do it sometime during the weekend. Usually it's Sunday. We were doing it on Saturday.
Or during the week, if you have the time.
Or at night, whenever.
Kaffee und Kuchen, coffee and cake. Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
The German version of tea and crumpets, Kaffee und Kuchen. And which means it's literally coffee and cake. And literally, my sister took a picture of it. Maybe I'll put it on our Twitter account. It's just 4 people including 2 staff members, just huddled around a table looking at live soccer scores. And that is what the Bundesliga and German soccer and German football is all about.
People stop in their tracks to catch up with their
Community.
local team. Yeah.
As a local team, and my second cousin's team is Bayer Leverkusen, and they won.
Oh, what a dream for him!
Absolute dream. My other cousin's team is Köln. Absolute nightmare for them.
Although they won today, yeah, pushing the old Bochum another spot down.
Yeah, Bochum's neck and neck. So Köln did get their win today, thankfully,
against the also struggling Gladbach. Yeah, Union Berlin. What is happening?
They're the top 5 teams all won. Bayern beat Mainz. Unfortunately for Mainz, they're slipping a little bit. Featuring Jürgen Klinsmann, he was in the
slipping a little bit. They're in last place. They're behind us.
Yeah,
they're one of two teams. One of 2 teams that have not won a game.
Dortmund won. The Stuttgart won, but Leverkusen won, and Leipzig won. Leipzig hopped over Hoffenheim to get 5th place.
Darmstadt, yeah.
And Hoffenheim, I guess the big surprise loss is Hoffenheim. They lost to Frankfurt, I believe.
Frankfurt at home. Uh-huh.
And Köln, like I said, to get that win was a little surprising, but Mainz, lost to Bayern.
Augsburg scored 5 on the road at Heidenheim. Yeah, the two newly promoted teams both lost. I mean, I saw a little bit. I didn't see a lot this week because my daughter agreed to go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art with me so I said, all right, let's do that. So I did not see a lot live. I caught up after the vibes. If we talk about my team for a second, the old VfL Bochum, not won a game, now in 17th place, 4 points. But yet, I don't know. There's not the I don't know. It doesn't feel like, last week or a couple of weeks ago, I predicted our coach was about to get fired. I don't know. It seems like everybody's like, oh, playing pretty well. This was another game where they had a lead and maybe the Freiburg player should have had a red card in the 30th minute, and the penalty was a little soft and there doesn't seem to be a lot of desperation considering we're 8 games in and have yet to win a game. So I don't know what's going on in Bochum.
Well,
those moral victories don't keep you in the division. You got to win like 10 games, at least 10, 11 games, right, to not get relegated. And so we're 8 in and we have 0. That's going to be a problem.
Similar to MLS, I guess. It's sort of, you're going for 40 points. It's kind of shooting for 40 points.
Well, yeah, 40 points, there's no chance of getting relegated. But even if you're, like 35, 36 is usually like the borderline.
Yeah. Well, Thomas Lech was asked about the penalty afterwards. He definitely thought it was a penalty, right? Which served him. But Bochum slipped to Freiburg. Like I said, Augsburg, Heidenheim, the Bayern battle was very goal heavy. But Stuttgart manhandled Berlin 3-0. But
on the road,
their star player Gerassi got injured, I think, right after he scored his goal. So we got to keep an eye on that.
Oh, yes.
Because between the 2 teams, like the real surprise team this year is Stuttgart, right? They're the surprise package. They're
hugely surprising,
They're only off by 1 point. Their star player was an obscure player up until recently. Now he's breaking records, scoring goals. Something's in his soup. Something happened with him this year. More power to him. But my prediction was they were going to, it was a surprise package, but between Bayer Leverkusen, the other surprise team, and VfB Stuttgart, Bayer Leverkusen has more legs, right? You think Bayer Leverkusen, keep an eye on. Like if Bayer Leverkusen, I shouldn't say this out loud, but I'm going to. If Bayer Leverkusen won the Bundesliga this year, it'd be something where it's like, oh, cool, I'm glad that happened. It's not out of the realm of impossibility. It could happen. If Stuttgart won the Bundesliga, that would be a total like what? Right? There'll be a total because they were on relegation's door the last few seasons.
Yeah.
So between the two of them, in my opinion, unfortunately, Stuttgart's legs are about to falter at some point. They're going to start dropping points at some point soon. And this Guirassy injury is sort of the first sort of bump in the road for them. So we'll see how they handle it moving forward. We'll see what that does to them moving forward. But Bayer Leverkusen still full steam ahead. And yeah, sorry about Bochum, but remember Leipzig. Bochum's going to have another season just like last year and the year before that. They're going to fight. They're going to scratch for some points. And, maybe they'll scrounge up enough to hang out in the middle. They've done more with less than any other club the last few seasons. They haven't had any great investment. They haven't spent a lot of money on players. Typical Bochum, the minute they have a player that someone's interested in, they go away. They're like gone.
Well, that didn't happen this year. That's why this is a little, concerning. We did not lose a lot of people, and it seemed like going in. Yeah, I don't know.
Can I say a positive thing about VfL Bochum? So I was watching Ninja Warrior Germany.
Oh, here we go.
And it's amazing. Such a good TV show. And the smoking, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful hostess comes on the TV and starts hosting. She's like interviewing. It's like, yeah, I'm with the family here. Hi, blah, blah, blah. Beautiful, beautiful woman. And my mom is like, wait a minute, I know her. She's married to a VfL Bochum player. And it turns out she was married to a VfL Bochum player, although he's not with Bochum anymore.
How does your mom know that, A?
My mom is on point when it comes to the gossip, Max. I'll tell you that right now.
Wow. Okay.
I still don't know how she knew that. I don't even know which player it was.
She lives in America, right?
She lives in Florida. Yeah.
How does she keep up with German gossip like that? She gets she's online, or she's got subscriptions? What's happening?
I have no idea. She watches the Bundesliga every week, like I do. She's really into it, and she reads people.
I could not.
That's my mom.
I could not pick anyone's partner, girlfriend, wife out of a lineup. You can ask me who is Mo Salah, what Mo Salah's wife looks like. No idea. I don't know. I don't keep track.
Honestly, we need to have her on the podcast to have like a player wife gossip.
The wags, right? The wag, what referred to as the wags, the wags, wives and girlfriends. I think I spent more time thinking about what coaches wear than who the partners are.
Your blog is the coach's clothing blog. My mom's blog is the wag blog.
Is the wag
My
blog.
blog is the food
German
blog.
wags. So anyway, who's the player? Reveal the player. You're the German deliciousness. Pombeer sour cream Grizzlies. That's a relatively new.
It is
sour cream was not a thing when I was a kid in Germany. Crème fraîche. There was a lot of crème fraîche in my youth. The French.
Do you know what Pombeers are in general? They're like a crispy. They're like a bear. They're like what are they? They're like bugles, but shaped in bears, kind of.
Yeah.
They're
like goldfish. They're like goldfish in the U.S. a little bit.
This is their answer to Pringles. They're like Pringle-like things. It was delicious. Like I say, it was delicious. But
you're like the very hungry caterpillar. You're eating eating your way through the German. Oh my God.
I need my drop to talk about questioning about Nash. I need my drop.
And these are just the snacks. These are just the snacks he has within arm's reach.
Yeah, and then I'm going to do another side story here. So
who has time to put on pants when there's so many snacks?
I have. So this is actually not.
Will they still fit when he attempts to put them back on?
So this is not German. I'm holding something Danish.
Oh, sour cream is taking Europe by storm.
Well, I'm just a fan of the flavor. But I will say these are Kim's chips from Denmark. Very, very good.
Kim. So
where I am, me and my mom, who's the foosball gossip queen, we went up to Fährmann. Do you know what Fährmann is? Fehmarn is an island off the coast of the Ostsee coast, off the Baltic Sea coast here in Germany. It's an island. On the other side of the island is a ferry that goes to Denmark, because Denmark's next.
Oh, yeah.
So we're right on the Danish border, but it's a ferry. They're building a tunnel. They're building like a new channel. It's going to make it a 10-minute drive from Germany to Denmark.
Huh.
But as of right now, it's still about an hour-long ferry. And on that island, facing Denmark, is the biggest duty-free shop I've ever seen in my life.
Oh.
It's called Border Store. It is literally a giant container ship on the water that's attached to the land.
It's all snacks, perfume, and cigarettes.
100%, but mainly booze.
Mm.
Booze. Because especially and all the signs are in Danish and Swedish, because the Danes are right across. But the Swedes, it's 3.5 hours one way. In front of this store, Bjorn, was a tour bus from Sweden, and attached to the tour bus was a special container where everyone could put their bulk booze. That's serious. It was attached to the bus. And if you look into it,
half of the seats are for the people. The other half is for the stuff they're going to buy.
Booze. Yeah, because especially in Sweden,
because it's expensive.
Very, very
in Scandinavia, this stuff is pricey, so they go for the get drunk, get fucked up for less.
So I went through it. I got myself some sweets and snacks. Bought myself some Danish chips here,
some sour cream. You're like, I don't need any booze. I just need anything you got that has sour cream on it.
No, I'm light on the booze. We got a little wine, but it was beautiful. Like literally, it was the whole first floor was just wine and beer. Second floor, hard liquor. Third floor, snacks, candies, Legos, and get this, they had games for the kids that they had to run around the store and like supermarket sweepstakes. They had to run around the store and fill their carts as fast as possible. People timing them and running after them and crap. It was this bonkers thing full of Danes, Swedes, Germans. Everyone was speaking English.
Power shopping.
It was full of the most booze you'd ever seen at the cheapest prices. There was a room with the expensive booze, a small room, that was locked. And you had to pick up the phone and you had to call someone to come and let you in and guide you as you buy the expensive booze.
And you have to give them your credit card before they unlock the door.
Probably. But what I will say is it was an amazing store. I wish I lived nearby. I wish I could shop there every week. It was full. It was like
I dream of the container ship.
The shopping
with
container.
All the.
It was a Costco full of all.
If only I could attach a smaller plane to the large plane that's going to take me back to America full of all the snacks, the sour cream flavored snacks I would like to buy.
No, but it was anyway. That was my side story. I forget it's Danes, and that's why I have Danish chips. And so I just want to tell everybody that if you're in northern Germany, if you look deep enough, you'll find the store of stores, the biggest container ship, duty-free ship you've ever seen.
Yeah, like the rest of the country doesn't have enough to eat.
Hey, man, no judgment here. No judgment.
All right. Well, you're living it up. We talked about the games.
So here in Deutschland, watching the Bundesliga is very difficult if you don't have a pay-per-view package. So I'm the same. I'm watching Sportschau. I watch Sportstudio, and I'm watching the Zusammenfassung and all that highlights. Mm-hmm. But what's all over TV is Frauen-Bundesliga, Bundesliga 2, and Bundesliga 3. And I'm like, sweet. So I got to catch up on stuff I don't normally watch. And I watched the Fortuna Düsseldorf Kaiserslautern game. And it was one of the coolest games I've ever seen. Kaiserslautern was up 3-0 by the 30th minute, and the game ended 4-3 for Fortuna Düsseldorf.
Ooh.
7 goals, and it was 3-1 at the half. Fortuna Düsseldorf must have had the halftime team talks of team talks, because they came out in that second half and they dominated, and they were just attacking. And Kaiserslautern, featuring Tyler Boyd, our German-American buddy Tyler Boyd, had no answers. And Fortuna Düsseldorf played in front of, it was a home crowd, right? 55,000 fans, packed stadium, loud. And I'm watching it on national television. I'm like, this is second division football. I mean, It's amazing. If you were there, it's it's top flight football quality.
Yeah, that's the yeah. That's why promotion relegation works. Promotion relegation works there and not here for that reason. If the Chicago Fire got relegated, they would just cease to exist within weeks.
Right. Well, Schalke, that's a good point. Schalke is in 16th spot in the second division right now. So
yeah, they're struggling.
HSV and St. Pauli are tied.
The two Hamburg teams are up top. I saw that. But let's just for a minute dig into. I mean, because this is a similar phenomenon that we're now facing here in the U.S. Right? That soccer, the U.S. where it used to be a great country to watch soccer in because everything was free on regular TV because it didn't have a big enough audience. Now that it's more popular, it's been you have to pay for multiple streamers and Germany similarly.
Yeah.
Now everything, all the live games are on in special packages and
two of them. That's why it's so confusing. How would you translate Frechheit? We've seen this before.
Frechheit is an outrage, I guess.
Outrage. So even in the United States, cable, everyone has ESPN, everyone has Fox Sports, right? It's on cable, it's around. There'd at least be like a game of the week, right? For a long time, I wanted a game of the week. Here in Germany, there's no game of the week. The way it works is you have to buy DAZN, which is a web Amazon package, and they have all the Friday and Sunday games, and that's it. Then you have to buy Sky Sports. They have all the Saturday games, and both of these packages start at $30 a month.
But Sportschau is still free, right?
Sportschau is free, but again, those are highlights. And then get this: when the games were over, I went online to find highlights. Couldn't find them anywhere. Because highlights here in Germany are also like a premium, and you have to wait, I think, a couple days before Sportschau has to wait 2 or 3 days before they put their highlights on the internet, probably due to a whole rights spiderwebby thing they've all signed. Sportschau gets the highlights, then Sport Studio gets it that night, and then the next morning, 8 a.m., Sport 1 has them. But it's like, I can't find them online. They're not on YouTube. I can't find them online. So we have to wait for these broadcast channels to have them first. All I know is that watching the Bundesliga here, if you're a guest like me, and you don't live near a pub that shows them, it's very difficult. Like I tried to do a VPN.
My brother, both of my brothers. Yeah, my parents. It's the same. My parents don't get anything. Both of my brothers have the relevant subscriptions. So yeah, it's also difficult. I've had this experience. I guess it'd be probably better now with Apple, right? You just log in for MLS.
Easy.
That's easy because that used to be a problem. That used to be a problem because I couldn't get a VPN going, and yeah. Anyway, so that has now. So MLS is now ahead of the curve. Has the international access. Anyway, interesting.
The last but not least is Germany played Mexico 2-2.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that was kind of a zip.
It was 1 a.m. here, and it was hard for me to watch. I watched it
right.
for a bit, but I didn't really watch it thoroughly. Did you watch the game?
I did watch it. I didn't go. I ended up not. I mean, it was just gonna. Once I realized the Phillies were also playing at the same time next door, I was like, this is going to be such a cluster F.
Oh God!
To get in and out, yeah. So I decided not to go, and I think I was happy with that decision. There were a lot of people there. It was a little. I mean, Germany started pretty much the same lineup. There were a couple of. Started Müller over Füllkrug. That immediately didn't work, and then was remedied at halftime. Füllkrug. What is the resistance? He's the 9. Just like. Put him in, forget about it. Just put him in, forget about it. Yeah, he's. It was sort of an odd game. It was very frantic, and Mexico kind of, much like the U.S., was a little bit faster than the Germans, and they were more effective. I think Mexico was more effective in thwarting the midfield buildup. Like Gundogan was forced to play a lot deeper than he did against the US. And so it all didn't quite flow quite as well as it did, like offensively, it didn't quite flow as well as it did against the US. I mean, the Mexico goal still felt a little fluky. Like this very tiny man scored a header, and
Right.
and
Both goals were from the same situation.
both goals. Yeah, I mean, I think the fullback, the Ta was in the middle this time, and Zulu was on the right. Like that's the fullback thing, especially on the right side, is still unsolved. I think that's the thing that still does not quite work. Yeah, it was still it was not as quite as coherent as the first game, but it was still pretty zippy. Füllkrug came in and yeah, he should just be the 9. I mean, that's
he's our 9.
Yeah, that's got to be, that has to be the takeaway.
Online,
And
they offered the stats. He played. He's got like 11 games.
I mean, his goal per 90 for the national team is astronomical. Excellent. Because he's had so few minutes and he scores every time. So
that's our boy.
Yeah, he has to be it for the time being. And then defensively, still a little work to do. But certainly a step up. This whole journey, considering, long travel and jet lag, blah, blah, blah. Definitely encouraging, very encouraging overall, this road trip. And so, we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, so that was next. Excellent.
Yeah. So where are you going next?
I'm going down south.
Oh, Bavaria. Right. You were saying.
Bavaria. Hang out in the bike. So
more pork,
baby. From Friesisch Deutsch to Bayerisch Deutsch.
Oh, yeah.
What's a Friesisch? You said the Friesisch. Is there a Friesisch joke? Is it just the same as how many fleas?
It's like it's just the jokes are all based on the assumption that the Friesen are stupid. Like why do the Ostfriesen have a flat back of the head? Because the toilet lid falls on it while they drink water. It's that kind of thing.
Well, I've been here and they've been lovely. So I have to say. But next week, Bjorn, I will have been to a live Bundesliga game.
Oh, which one?
I'm going to Bayern München versus Darmstadt.
Very nice. Oh, that's going to be a nail biter.
Darmstadt, I think, is favorites to win that one. When you guys are watching that one, you'll know there'll be a Schnitzel Boy on the ground. Last week, I will share my experiences, maybe post some photos, and I look forward to it. Should be a lot of fun. Get some Schnitzel Boy action in the thing. We got Champions League this week and also Pokal at some point. Might try to go to a Pokal game next week. Try and go to an Unterhaching game, which is a small little Bavarian club in South Munich. So we'll see. We'll see what kind of football adventures I have next. We'll see.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, we'll check in with you next week. And then in 2 weeks, we're back live.
Back live, baby. Tschüss.
Tschüss. Mach's gut. There he was, our man Stefan, the intrepid traveler, coming to you from Germany. Meanwhile, some funny stuff in the chat. Maybe we'll go backwards. David Riccio is bringing up, speaking of Mexico and Germany, didn't Mexico smoke Germany in the World Cup a few years back, flying past them on the counter? Yes, in fact, they did. This was in the. This was not the most recent World Cup. This was in 2018 when we were eliminated in the early round. Yeah, I watched that game. By the way, I watched that game on Smith Street in Brooklyn at the Black Forest Cafe, which is a German bar. And they made for this game, Germany against Mexico, the German bar owners made all the busboys, who were all mostly Mexican, I think, made them all put German flags on their cheeks, with paint. And then all these guys, of course, then celebrated the Mexico victory while they were wearing the German flags. It's a very sad moment. But yeah, I remember like Mesut Özil being the lone defender, in the box against, I think, Carlos Vela. Maybe that was not the matchup you wanted. Yeah, that was a tough one. And why is alt beer so dark? Hans Wolf is asking. I don't actually know. It doesn't have a very heavy taste to it. It is much like, Altbier is sort of like Kölsch almost. It's kind of it's very easily drinkable. So I don't know where the color comes from. I don't know the answer. I may look into this and I'll keep you updated. Meanwhile, there was also some talk about the WAGs, the wives and girlfriends of soccer players. Hans Wolf was saying how there should be another Wag the Dog movie called perhaps The Wags That Wag the Dogs. I mean, that made me think there is something like this, because there was the Wagatha Christie scandal. I don't know if you've followed this. This was an English thing where Colleen Rooney, Wayne Rooney's wife, exposed Rebecca Vardy, the wife of Jamie Vardy, for basically selling content from her private Instagram account to tabloids, and and she kind of had a very sleuthy way of nailing down who exactly was doing this, and so this was then called the Wagatha Christie tale after Agatha Christie, the famous English mystery writer. And this now is a documentary series on Disney Plus. It's called Colleen Rooney, The Real Wagatha Story. I haven't seen it yet, but so that's what's going on in terms of WAG contests. David Riccio was saying how we should tell Stefan that podcasting requires pants. I have said this to him before. We have had this discussion. I want you to know that I'm always wearing pants. You can count on, if I had to run out the door, you would not see my underwear. I'm fully dressed. And I don't know. I guess he's in his hotel room. He's comfortable. But yeah, podcasting, he should be wearing pants. I agree. David Riccio says, less snacks, more trousers, please. Yeah, there was a lot of food talk. Hans Wolf was speculating that Stefan was losing weight because he's not eating the food that's the American food that's packed with preservatives and sugar. I don't know. You think he's losing weight? I don't know. There seems to be a lot of calorie intake. I don't know if the absence of preservatives is going to be enough to offset the Haribos and the sour cream. It seems like it's a pretty high carb regimen. I hope he's going to be all right. I don't know that he's losing weight. We'll find out. But yeah, more pants, less snacks, says David Riccio. Certainly a lot of food talk. We gave pretty short shrift to the derby that Hans was excited about. Köln getting their first win against their local rival Gladbach, putting Bochum. And we learned that Sebas Esses, I think we heard this before, that his team is Mainz, the only other winless team other than Bochum, and that's next next Friday, I think, even, or Saturday. This is the game of the bottom feeders, Bochum against Mainz. Both of those teams need that win. And if it's probably going to be a tie, considering that neither team has won a game, if that streak is to continue. I don't know. I would like my Bochum team to win. I mean, they've been really struggling. Anyway, is that cafe still in business? Yes, the Black Forest Cafe still exists. Heinz Wolf, the question about Altbier. It wasn't a real question. It was a joke. Why is Altbier so dark? Because all the citizens of Köln drink their Kölsch and pee into the Rhine. Yeah, it's the Black Forest Cafe still exists. I don't go there anymore for games. I have I have not had a good track record in that place. The food is still good. I still go there sometimes for some German schnitzel, and they have a pretty good sausage platter. But yeah, I don't know. They should not make the Mexican busboys wear the German flag. That was weird. And another piece of news is that Christian Streich, the Freiburg coach that we all like and respect, is thinking about hanging it up. He says he doesn't have the power. He doesn't feel as young as he used to be. He's feeling a little weaker, and is thinking about not continuing. He would not go to another club. He says it's Freiburg or nothing. He doesn't want to go somewhere else. And yeah, so Christian Streich might be at the end of his career. We have, I said Bochum this week is also Champions League. We have Galatasaray playing Bayern. That's a big, that's going to be pretty intense atmosphere. That stadium gets loud. And Union Berlin at home against Napoli. Union really struggling, inexplicably, kind of. I don't know why they've keep losing. They're playing Napoli. Napoli also a little bit struggling. They, after winning the Italian Serie A last year, are now I think 7th, or I mean still early days, but not as dominant. Dortmund on the road at Newcastle. That's not going to be easy. And Leipzig at home against Red Star Belgrade in the Champions League this week. And then, like I said, then this weekend it's Bundesliga again. And we have, like I said, Friday night, the early game, Bochum against Mainz. That is going to be, I mean, it's not must win. We're early in the year, but like whoever loses that is going to be pretty dire. And then, Stefan said he was going to go see Bayern at home against Darmstadt. Köln on the road at Leipzig. That's going to be tough. Frankfurt against Dortmund. Leverkusen at home against Freiburg. Those are the highlights of that schedule. And the German, I was saying, what's next for the German national team? The German national team plays again in November at home against Turkey and then in Austria. So, but yeah, Germany is it's all friendlies, because as the host of the Euro, they are qualified automatically, so they don't have to play qualifiers. Daniel Young is asking if I can help him try some German coffee. That's a tough one. I mean, Nescafe is the famous brand. I don't know that I would recommend that as particularly great compared to. I think Chibo is the place where you go for freshly ground coffee. That's what I would try. I don't know if that's available here. Chibo, Tchibo. We'll ask Stefan next week. He'll be, he's. I don't know if he's a big coffee guy. We'll find out next week if he has any recommendations in that regard. Anyway, I think that's probably what I got for you on my solo flight here on Monday night. The Schnitzel Boys. We're going to do one more of these next week with a pre-recorded, and then we're going to go back to our regular programming with Stefan live. Thanks for tuning in, all of you. Have a great night. Rate us, review us, listen to us. Buy the mugs on Etsy. Do I have one? No, I don't have it here. I'll show you next time. All right. Have a good night.